Hey FlossTube, it's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche. I'm back for another update video. It is December 16th and it's actually morning, not early morning, but morning. So the house is kind of quiet, at least for the next 30 minutes before people start moving around. But I wanted to come back and update on my progress since my last video in November. I keep trying to do these videos more often, but I just can't get it together. I recorded videos on the 14th and that was a mess. So I'm trying this again and try to be a little less scattered, a little more organized. So first item I wanted to do was to talk about the giveaways from the last video. I had two giveaways. I was giving away a out of print chart from Blackbird Design, and that goes to Darlene Baumgardner. So congratulations, Darlene. I think I have your address. If not, if you'll just email me, I'll put my email address on the screen here and in the description box so you can email me so I can get that mailed out to you. And the other giveaway was for a Just Another Button Company pin cushion, which I love those pin cushions. I think I did almost all of them. And I had a duplicate, and so the winner of that was Patty Fletcher. So Patty, I don't think I have your address, so if you'll email me, again, it's on the screen, and then I will have it in the description box below. So that was exciting. Thank you very much for all the comments and the sweet replies and everything. I guess I'll go on to life updates. So since I talked to you all last, we had Thanksgiving. And if you hear my rooster, he's right outside my window. We have free-range chickens, and it seems like every time I start recording, he wants to get on the video. So you'll hear him. Sorry. But we had Thanksgiving. The semester ended, and I got a few finishes done, but I'll talk about those later. For Thanksgiving, for the past 3 years, we have hosted the Thanksgiving at our house for my dad's side of the family. And that can be up to, I think the largest group we had was 70 people. I think that was the largest group. But last year it was a little bit overwhelming, to say the least. And my husband was like, we can't do this every year. We want to, let's do something different in 2018. So we decided to just do a trip with the four of us. And so we did. We went and rented a cabin and went and spent the weekend, or the Wednesday through Saturday, just the four of us with our puppy. And we played games and just kind of relaxed, which was good for all of us because the two boys are both in college and it's been a stressful semester with our change at the university. And just my husband's been sick quite a bit this past fall, and so it was nice just to relax. And we did. We didn't even have turkey, which none of us like turkey that much. So I took my Instapot, which is a new item that I got since the last time I saw you, and we made pulled pork sandwiches. And we had like the typical sides for Thanksgiving, stuffing and mac and cheese, which I'm not a mac and cheese fan, but we had that, green beans, things like that. But pulled pork instead of turkey. So we enjoyed that. Semester has ended. We had the final exams last week. Yeah, last week. So it's been a little over a week since final exams and graduation. And I'm so glad for that semester to end. We shortened our semester from 16 weeks to 14 weeks. That was overwhelming for most of us. I kept feeling like I was behind. I'm like, I am so lazy this semester. I'm not getting my grading done like I normally do. I'm pretty good about getting things back to students pretty quickly. I am good about it. I usually have everything graded and returned to them the next class meeting, just because I feel like my students I teach anatomy and physiology, so we cover a lot of content, and they need that feedback as immediate as possible. So I try to get that to them. And this semester I just couldn't do it. And I was like, what is up? And then someone said, well, you're in the classroom more than you were before. And I'm like, that's right. I am in the classroom more. And so most of my day was spent lecturing instead of having long breaks between lectures. Plus I had almost 500 students that I was teaching myself And then I coordinated the labs, which required me to interact with all the TAs, and then they had all of the students come to me instead of their TAs when they had issues. So my office hours were almost always spent with students, which is different. Usually you only see students in your office hours around exam time. And this year that wasn't the case. I spent a lot of time answering questions, which is good. I had a lot of students coming in and asking questions, which is good, but also a lot of times listening to complaints about TAs, which were almost always unfounded. I had a great group of TAs to work with this semester. So fortunately, I'm not doing that this semester. I mean, in the spring. I am not handling the labs. I'm going back to my normal teaching schedule, so I'll be teaching 5 classes in the spring. And one of those I'm team teaching with a chemistry professor, and it's food chemistry, which I'm excited about that. So that semester's over, and I'm glad to see it in the books and gone. This past week, most people think once the semester's over, faculty are on vacation. Well, this past week I spent Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday working on textbook material. So I'm a textbook author, so we're wrapping up the revision of our textbook, which we'll publish next month. So exciting. But I also work our test banks to ensure that the questions that are being asked are about the content that we covered, which if you've used test banks before, sometimes there's some, they don't align as well as some of us would like. So I go through and check those things and write questions and just update that. And that's tedious work. And I've been working on that. I'm behind. I should have had my chapters almost completed, and I'm just now starting them. So I worked on that all Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I had meetings Wednesday and Thursday. And then what did I do Friday? Worked some and then tried to clean the house up and started decorating. So we still haven't got our Christmas decorations completely up. I have, let's see, how many trees do I have? I have this is my Santa tree. If you notice, everything on here is a Santa Claus of some sort. I'm a Santa collector, and I've been collecting Santas since I was 18 years old, ornament-wise. And so this tree is almost completely covered now with Santa ornaments. And then we have our family tree, which is covered with ornaments, because I hang every ornament we've ever had. And my sons and I just had a discussion about this. And my sons were like, what are you going to do when we run out of space on the Christmas tree? I'm like, get a bigger tree. I love having that old-fashioned family Christmas tree look where it's just every ornament you can pack onto the tree. And then we have the wooden beads as our garland. It's very folksy, but I love that. We have a third tree, which is my husband's tree. It's a Star Trek ornament tree. So he has almost all the Star Trek ornaments. The only one he's missing, I think, is the shuttle craft. I think that's the only one. That's the one that, the little shuttle that Spock says something. So I've got to go get the one was released this year. And then we have one more tree that's in the front dining room, which is I have a feather tree that I got at an estate sale. And I use that for my stitched ornaments. So if I get a chance, I'll put pictures of all of that in this video. If not, I'll put it in the next video. And also my mantle. I have a whole collection. My collection of Santas continues, and I'll put some of that up as well. But I decorated this myself. We kind of, we have a, division of labor. So I do the Santa tree because it's mine. The boys do the big family tree because I said so. They didn't mind doing it when they're younger. Now they're like, and I'm like, do it. And then my husband decorates his Star Trek tree. So, and then I do all the other kind of spread the things around the house. So I'll finish decorating that probably this next week before Christmas. Yesterday was mine and my husband's 28th wedding anniversary, and we celebrated it by hosting a group of family members and spent most of the day in separate rooms, unfortunately. My sisters and my mother came over, and we did our family Christmas candy making or snack making. So we made Martha Washington, which is essentially sugar, butter, and chocolate with some nuts in, because we got to have protein. Peanut butter balls. Oh, what else do we do? Date nut balls, bourbon balls, and we make trash, which is Chex Mix. I have a double oven, and they're pretty nice size ovens. Usually it takes us about half a day to do what we call the trash. We have to mix it all up, make the sauce, and then we bake them one pan at a time. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to make use of this double oven. We got all of it, 4 pans put into the oven and baked, and was done in record time. My mom was like, that was amazing. So we were able to get a lot of stuff done yesterday. My older sister, Sharon, came up with 2 new recipes this year. Don't like to change things up a little bit, but she's always coming up with new recipes. So she made these ranch flavored oyster crackers. And what was the other thing she made? Haystacks. So she was experimenting with the haystacks. That's just something crunchy covered with butterscotch, from butterscotch chips. You melt them and cover it. So she tried it with the chow mein noodles, and then she tried it with those potato sticks. She said she didn't like that, so she got rid of those. She didn't even let me try them, because I love potato sticks. And then what was the other thing? Cornflakes. And then I made lemon poppy seed bread, because I'm obsessed with this. At one of my meetings last week, they had lemon poppy seed bread, and it was delicious, and I want to make some. So I found a recipe, and I went to the first one online. I don't look at reviews. I'm bad about that. And I made it, and it was okay. It tasted good, but it was really dense. It wasn't what I was expecting. And there were 2 loaves, so my younger sister, Bridget, took one of those to a party that she went to last night. And then, so I'm going to try some other recipes. But speaking of, she went to a party last night. Her kids, she has 2 boys, and my brother's 2 boys were over here during the candy making. So I've got 2 boys. My younger brother has 2 boys. My younger sister has 2 boys. So we got all these boys. And then my older brother married Katie about, I don't know, it's been a long time. So maybe 6 years ago. Sorry, Katie. Can't remember. It just seems like forever since you've been part of the family. And she has a daughter, Maddie. And Maddie's been part of our family even before they got married. She's been like our niece. We called her our niece. They didn't know that, but we all called her our niece. And then they have a little one, Lily, who's 4 years old. So they're the only girls. They weren't here yesterday. So the 4 younger boys, my 4 nephews, were here, and they helped with the candy. The 2 little ones helped make the trash. The 2 older ones helped with the other candies. And then after that, they went in the game room with my husband, and they played some Star Wars role-playing game the rest of the night. Everybody left, all the adults left, and left all the kids here, and they stayed until I think it was almost 9:30 before they left. And then my husband fell asleep on the couch, and I cross-stitched and knitted until midnight. So happy anniversary. But that's okay, because my husband's a very good man. Number one, he spent all of his evening role-playing with 15, 13 and 9-year-olds. And he was very patient. Thank you. We have an Alexa, and the kids kept requesting different music, so it was very loud in here. It was a good day, though. But about a week and a half ago, he called me, and he says, I think we need to go somewhere for our anniversary. And I'm like, okay, because I love to travel. Now, this is the same guy that planned a trip to Boston for us for fall break back in October. This is my Boston shirt. And I'm like, okay, that sounds good to me. He's like, I'm thinking, we should go someplace. We can't go international because Jennifer hasn't gotten her passport. So he decided the next best thing for me would be to go to Disney. So he's taking me to Disney on New Year's Day. We're leaving on New Year's Day, and we'll be there until the 5th. We'll be home on the 6th. But we got our magic bands. Let me see if I can reach them. I'm going to have to stand up. Sorry. We got our magic bands yesterday, and it's just the two of us. The boys, our boys are not going, which Nicholas is okay with that. He doesn't like Disney. He doesn't like to travel. And Patrick said he's okay. He's not. He loves Disney as much as I do, but it's not his anniversary. So we're going on the 1st. So he's a good guy because he's not as much into Disney as I am. But we're going to have fun. We are excited. We've already planned most of our meals. And one other thing, we're going to the after party dessert buffet after the fireworks one night at the Magic Kingdom. So I'm excited. Yay, such a good guy. And he's taking me to New Orleans the day after Christmas for a cooking class. I'm the lucky woman, I know. So thank you, thank you. Okay, so that is a lot of life updates with a lot of rooster noise in the background. So again, I'm sorry. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on and talk about some of the newer floss tubers that I want to shout out. I'm going to shout out two. The first one is the Sunshine Stitchers. If you haven't seen them, it's a group of 3. I think I have a lot of names in my head because I teach a lot of students, so sometimes I can't remember all the names I think I'm right. But the 3, I believe the 3 of them are MK, Gary, and Shalia, and they are funny, funny, funny. They are friends. They get together apparently at Gary's to do their video, and because it's always Gary's stuff is on the wall behind them, and it's always amazing stuff. Apparently he stitches like the wind. That means he stitches very fast. If you watch Toy Story, you get that reference. But he stitches very fast apparently, and it's just interesting to see what they're all working on, and they're very, very funny. So if you haven't seen them, I'll link their channel below. It's the Sunshine Stitchers. And my other shout out is for the Southern Ladybug. This is my friend Lisha, who secretly did a floss tube video. And it was funny because she was at my house and we were talking about videos and floss tube, and then she, went home, and then I went online like the next day and her video popped up. I'm like, are you kidding me? That sneaky woman. And then she sent us a text saying, hey, you should watch my newest video. So I saw it before I got the message from her. So apparently everything that she talked about must have matched what YouTube thought I was interested in. So it's a very good video. She's hilarious. She's very creative. So if you haven't watched the Southern Ladybug, definitely go and watch the Southern Ladybug. So those are my 2 shout outs. I think you'll enjoy watching both of those. I know I've got to catch up on the Sunshine Stitchers because I've watched about 3 of their videos. So I'll have to watch the rest of them. And Lisha needs to make another video. Here I am preaching when I need to update my videos more often. I do also not necessarily shout outs, but I miss you kind of thing. So people that I hope to make videos soon. Fauna, I know you've had a lot on your plate, but I miss seeing you. And Katie the Stash Queen. We need to see all of your starts and all of your needle minders and your kids. I know you've been very busy too, but I miss seeing your videos. So hopefully in 2019 you'll come back and make more videos. So those are my shout outs and I miss yous for this episode. All right, so I have a couple of things that are kind of new. I know everybody likes to talk about things that they're interested in doing or that they've kind of found along the way that really don't have much to do about stitching. And I have some that I want to talk about. So these are my, what I call shareables or deliverables, however you want to describe it. But these are just things that outside of my stitching world, these are things that I enjoy. I enjoy subscription boxes. I love subscription boxes. It's a little bit, I have an obsessive personality, so I have to watch myself. But we get subscription boxes. All 4 of us get subscription boxes. We haven't gotten so far as to get one for our dog, but she likes the ones we get. So my son, older son, is he usually gets what we call the loot crate. My younger son gets a role-playing game crate. It's an RPG crate. And it's actually Nicholas that started all of this. When he was a junior in high school, he was in some course where they didn't do very much but play on the computer, and he brought this to my attention. He's like, you would totally love this, and he was right. So we were doing these different crates. My husband signed us up for 2 crates that he and I get. And the first one I'm going to show you just kind of because this came in the mail yesterday. Yeah. And it's the Universal Yums box. So you get, that's universalyums.com, but you get international snacks. So this is December's, and it's on the front, it tells you before you open where it's coming from. So this is our 3rd one. We got one from Russia, and then we got one from the Netherlands, and now it's everywhere. So it's just different snacks, and it can be sweet snacks. This is an Italian sweet. It can be savory snacks. So this is some type of chip. But there's about 12 or 13 different snacks. They're packed full. It's not a bad price. And we love this. So we try one every day until the box is empty. And then we can't wait till the next one shows up. Okay, sorry, I had to pause and go get some things I'd forgotten. So the other subscription box that we have is for what we call the shaker and spoon, or what they call the shaker and spoon box. So I don't have a box. I got rid of the last box. But this is the company, shakerandspoon.com. And with each box, you get 3 recipe cards and the mixers for 3 different craft cocktails. So these are cocktails from around the country. They have great names, you know, things like Yamaguchi Sling and Last Chance Nance. That one was really good. And they come with the materials for making it. So, you know, packaging is amazing in this. You get the different shrubs, the different syrups, things like that. Even the bitters, they send them in little tiny drop bottles. And sometimes they'll send you a sample because, you know, marketing. They'll send you a sample from one of the smaller bottles of bitters, which I love because I collect bitters. I'm a collector of a lot of things. And sometimes even these little spritzer bottles. So you can spritz it over the cocktail and give that the aroma, you know. And I love it when we get these interesting sodas as well. They'll even send the fruit. You know, we'll get limes, lemons, orange, grapefruit. We got a grapefruit this time. But it all comes in a box. And what's funny to me is the box, they have it packaged with all the little shredded paper. And when they package it, if that shredded paper is sticking out, that's okay. And my postman, we pick up our mail at the post office. And when we pick it up, that box, when it comes in, my postman's like, your party box is here, because it's just like confetti coming out of it. But it's funny. You know, we enjoy it. But because we're so into cocktails, my husband buys me cocktail recipe books when he's traveling. I've gotten a couple from some of the restaurants in New Orleans, like Commander's Palace. I have theirs, which is a big, you know, they're all about their cocktails. And then my husband was reading up on different barware, which I have all kinds of, you know, you have to get the right barware. And he found this group, standardspoon.com. And they had found an old jigger, the little measuring cups, in an antique store or something, and they just thought they were really cool, so they wanted to recreate these, and they did. So they did a Kickstarter to fund the, you know, the manufacturing of this. That's called the Napier Jigger, and my husband bought me the 2 styles. So this is one, and so it's measured at 1/2 ounce, 1 ounce, 1.5, and 2 ounce. And then my favorite one is this one. Isn't that cool? This is really nice. So we got those in. We've been waiting for a while because, of course, he found out about it when they started the development. But we got those last week. So exciting. So that's my, you know, what I'm all into, I guess, or the shareables, deliverables. There is one, which I can't show you because I'd have to do laundry. This is crazy. But my original video that I was doing for this one, I dressed up for you and was wearing, because I'm also doing Stitch Fix, which I love Stitch Fix. I don't like to shop for clothes, and I need nicer clothes for, business meetings and with the textbook, and also with teaching. I don't want to look like my students. I always joke that I majored in biology. 25% of the reason was because I could just dress like a biologist, but you really can't do that when you're teaching students a lot of the time. So I need nicer clothes, and I don't like to shop for clothes. And I was at a conference, and one of the ladies there was looking really nice. She always looks nice, but she was looking exceptionally nice. And we're like, well, your clothes are really cute. What's different about, what are you doing? She said, oh, I'm doing Stitch Fix now. Because like me, she doesn't like to shop. So that's been a year. I finally signed up for it, and I love it. I've gotten some really nice clothes. The fit is perfect. Everything that I've gotten has fit me perfectly. So I'm enjoying that. So if you have thought about it, I suggest, yes, do it. So I'll put a link to all of these different subscription boxes that I'm doing down below if you're interested in looking into them. So I love getting mail, and so these are just, what is it Vonna says, that checks all my boxes, rings all my bells? I think something like that. All right. Next, I'm going to talk about gifts that I've received. I got yesterday an amazing box from Nicole Buckeye Stitcher, and I just absolutely love what she sent me. In the box, or in the package, she sent a little note that said these were handcrafted by people in her community. So this is one of the ornaments she sent me that looks like one of my golden girls, and it's going to go on my Christmas tree. I love that, Nicole. That is so sweet. And then she sent me this little magnet that one of her texts makes. Isn't that beautiful? I love that, Nicole. That is amazing. Thank you. And then my favorite. I love this. I've never seen anything like it, and it's so creative. It's a Santa ornament made out of a key. And it goes at the top of my Christmas tree. I love this. Thank you so much, Nicole. I really appreciate that. And another gift that I got was from the Southern Ladybug. If you watch her video, she talks about the fact that she has an Etsy store, and she has bracelets, scissor fobs, and she does crocheted animals and things, and she does scarves and hats and stuff. She's just very creative. But she made me this scissor fob and gave it to me. Isn't that adorable? It's beautiful with Santa. So thank you, Lisha. I'm already using that. So Nicole and Lisha, y'all are so good to me. Thank you so much. I have also received some Christmas cards. So let me pause and I will get those. So these are my Christmas cards. I received one from Cindy. Aren't those beautiful? That's her pictures from her garden. I think my favorite is this one. That is amazing, Cindy. That's one of her stitching projects. Another one. Beautiful. And then I got the Happy Mail Call. Thank you, Pam and Steph. That is a hilarious card. So very sweet. Our community is amazing. So I really appreciate those Christmas cards a lot. The next thing I want to talk about are some, where did I put it? I have it around here. Oh, there they are. Some of my previous finishes. So I'm going to copy, oh, it fell. I'm going to copy Joan from the Joan and Kelly show. So she's always showing things that she's finished previously. She calls it her vintage finishes, which is so funny because a lot of the things are things that I want to do or I've done before. So it's exciting to watch. It's a great idea, Joan, because that gets everybody excited about older charts as well as new charts. And yes, sometimes you can't remember, but then that gives you a chance to just do some exploring and finding, you know, not only that, but other things as well. But I have one that I'm going to show that is a, you know, old finish for me because I just pulled this out with our Christmas decorations. And this is Little House Needleworks Poinsettia House. And this is one of my absolute favorites of hers. I've stitched a lot of Little House, but I love the colors. I love this. I love the border. And I finished it on one of those little cigar boxes you get at Michael's. You know, that's the box. Cigar box unfinished from Darius. So that's, and this is available. I have it in my shop. I've seen it in other people have mentioned it in their shop. So if you're talk to your LNS, just ask them to order it for you. And you can have it stitched up for next Christmas. Now, still working off of some of the information Joan and Kelly have shared is the two episodes ago. Joan was showing some finishes that were exchanges that she had received. And this was in the Fair and Square exchange. And I was like, I participated in that. And that's exciting because if you think about it, some of those people may have their own floss tube or they may watch floss tube. So I went and got my basket. I have this basket that I just keep all of my smalls in my craft room. Oops, one of them just fell out. And I pulled all of the Fair and Squares that I had finished. So yes, we finished them. Most of us finished them as these little pin keeps. So I'm going to show you the ones that I have. And if you're the one that sent this to me, just make a comment below. So this is a Bent Creek Snapperland. So it's probably the autumn theme. And this came from Terry. Here, this one was the winter round. Ooh, winter round. Isn't that cute? And this one, the stitcher, you were supposed to do, you did a square and then you did one that had your information on it. And she went over the top, just all kinds. So it says Fair and Square, winter round, little thing, little snowflake, and then her name. So Jill E. and then Minnesota, 2009. So lots of information. And when I finished them, I wanted them to have all that information together. Here's one that I love. It's a little house. And this is from Amy from South Carolina. So these are 10 years old. 10 years old. Isn't this one cool? This is from the Cricut Collection Sleepy Hollow. That big piece that I showed in a previous video. She just took one of the pieces out and stitched it. And I love this. I get this out at Halloween every year. So that's from Stephanie from the UK. Love that. This one is a chatelaine. Let me make sure I turn it the right way. Chatelaine. This was a freebie. I actually had the freebie and was going to stitch it. And then I got it in the exchange. I'm like, check that one off. I don't have to do that. That's a lot of work. And this was Sonda. And she and I kept in contact for quite a while. And I've seen maybe comments or somebody has mentioned her. So Sonda, if you watch my videos, hey, I'd like to talk to you again. Here's a cute one, Be Busy. This is a shepherd's bush. And this is Mary Catherine from Colorado. Little house with a cat on the roof. That is hilarious. I don't know the designer. I almost think I know the designer, but I can't remember. This was from Marie P. from Texas. This is an interesting. Every time I look at it, I'm thinking that's the Tin Man and that's Dorothy, but that's not what it's supposed to look like. They kind of look like Lego people, but very cute. And this is from Sandra G. from Portugal. So it was international. It wasn't just in the United States. So that's cool. They also have cat hair on them. Sorry. This is a winter theme. And this was from Kay from Alaska. And I think that's it. The rest of these are things that I finished. Look at this one. This is a Lizzie Kate. Flip it. I have this one in my shop still. And I just made it into a little needle book. Isn't that cute? And then I'll just go ahead and show you what else is in my basket. What's in my basket? This was a freebie in one of the Just Cross Stitch magazines. It's a Prairie Schooler. And just have it finished like this. I think that is, I don't know who that is. It's cute though. Pretty fabric. That's a sequence. I want to show you those all together. Here's another fall. So cute with that squirrel. And then another piece of fabric from that same collection I just showed you. This is a little house. I got this in an exchange. I didn't stitch this one. I had it in my 2-stitch pile, but somebody did it for me. And then this last group is Country Cottage Needleworks. I love her little series. So this was her flower series. So this is Violet, which is my favorite flower. And I finished them all with just different fabrics from my stash. This is Daisy. Bluebell. Isn't that pretty? Oops. And Rose. Bindi, you need to make this for Rose. She would love that. Isn't that cute? And there's another one. Can't remember. I've got the pattern. I just haven't stitched it. And then the last thing that I had in this basket, I'll go ahead and use what fell out. This is the Butterfly Bungalow. I may have shown this in a previous video, but there's a pattern that has 3 of these. It's a butterfly, a ladybug, and a bee. And I made all 3 of these into little needle books for me and my sister Bridget and my friend Lisha. The Southern Ladybug. Isn't that cute? I have that one in my shop too if you want that. That's all 3 of those are in one chart. Okay, let me put all this back in here and I'll get to my actual finishes finally. Well, these were finishes, but they're old finishes. So I have been stitching. I have had some FOs and FFOs since my last video. So I'm going to pause so I can pull those out. Okay, so my current whips that I'm working on are gifts. And I'm going to go ahead and show you one of them because it will be finished and probably given to the person that it's going to before that person watches this video. But I'm stitching this sampler from the Knotted Tree. I picked this is out of print. There was a series of 4 of these. This is the Winter Floral Sampler. And I just loved that. With those kind of quirky poinsettias and that bird. And I'm stitching it on 40 count Weeks Dye Works something. And it is like 500 count. It is so tiny. But that's how much I've gotten done. I just have to put a few flowers in and a few letters and it'll be finished. But this is for the sampler exchange that I'm doing with Teresa, Kitten Stitcher, Susie Reno, and Kathy Krause. This one goes to Teresa. So this is the last round. And I am way behind. These were supposed to be mailed in November. I'm behind. I'm sorry. So that's really all I've been stitching on. I have finished some things. So since my last video, I finished 2 projects when we were on our trip for Thanksgiving. I finished this Primitive Hair Needlewoman, Busy as a Bee, which I think is so cute. And I finished this one, Kathy Barrett, a bee study. Love this one. That big bee, there she is amazing. So I will probably frame the bee study and make something soft finish with the needle woman. And my last finish I want to show you, stitching finish, is the Yuletide shanty. So when I was looking through Hoffman a while back at different things that were available, I found this one, and it's not an old chart, but it's a couple of years old. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that is absolutely adorable. And I hadn't seen very many people stitching it, and just ordered it because I thought it was amazing. And then you've got this little Christmas presents, the well, a little Christmas tree, and I love the candy canes. And it's a drum finish. Now my drum finish isn't perfect because the round that I have was the round size that was called for in the instructions, but I should have measured better. I should have trimmed it about 1/4 of an inch, because see how the drum comes in. And I've stuffed it with sawdust. I have that big bag of sawdust from when we built our house that I've used to stuff things. And I love it because it keeps the shape really well. Even if it's not the right shape, it keeps that shape. So those are my finishes. Let's see, what else do I want to... Oh, I was going to show you my sequin ornaments. I'm working on those kits still. And here's a star that I finished. And I'm working on these and listening to Audible, so I get a lot done. Here's the matching one for that. Oh, I should have done the star that way, but whatever, it's cute. So those are two just not finishing finishes. Okay. My next segment is what I'm going to start calling the enablement segment. These are things that I had to buy because of certain people on FlossTube sharing what they bought. And we should keep a record of this, and at the end of the year, give an award for the most enabling enabler. I'll tell you, there's two that are running neck and neck for me. So, first, Bendy Stitchy showed this on one of her videos, and I went immediately to Amazon and purchased it. It is Michael Powell's Christmas Smalls, and I love it because it is some of his best Christmas designs. And it comes with 20 of these, and they're all really, really good, and the price isn't bad. It says $11.95. I don't think I paid that for it. US $9.95. But I got it on Amazon. I just searched for Michael Powell Christmas, and this popped up. So thank you, Michelle, for sharing that, because I had to run out and purchase that. And then Michelle Farm Girl showed this one on her video, because I love the idea of doing a more felt applique, which I've got several projects going right now. And I went and bought this one, the buttermilk basin. Oh, I just saw one that I'm going to do. Isn't that amazing? Because I love my pineapples. So that is so cute. So thank you, Farm Girl, for sharing that, because I went out immediately and purchased that on Amazon. And then the last culprit is Julie from Gulf Coast Stitches. She was talking about the LaHaye's boxes. She's like, you should go and look. And I went and looked, and I bought one. But this is the one that I bought. So isn't that cool? Love it, love it. It'd be great for little smalls to be displayed in. All right, well, that is my stitching and I think that's pretty much everything. No, my plans. I've got to tell you my plans. So in a previous video, talked about the fact, I whined in my last video, about how I want to stitch new things, and I'm sick of stitching on all these whips, and I try to blame everybody but myself for I have 72 whips right now, so down from 120, so not bad. But I'm getting bored with them. I want to stitch on some of these new things. And Market's coming up in February, and there'll be a whole bunch of more new things that I want to stitch. So I've decided in 2019, I'm going to continue to work through my whips the same way that I always do. You know, randomly choose one each week or each day. Focus on finishing one of those for each month. But I'm also going to start a Brenda Gervais, because Brenda Gervais is my absolute favorite designer, apparently, because I have a ton of her stuff, and she's my favorite designer. Sorry, Teresa, it's Brenda. But she has the most amazing designs to me. They are beautiful, they're interesting, they're fun to stitch. So my 2019 is going to be the year of Brenda Gervais. So I'm going to start a new Brenda Gervais pattern each month. And I've picked the first two. And I'm going to do these as stitch along. So if you're interested in stitching these, you can start them with me. I've made sure to order them into my shop. So I've got lots of copies if you're looking for them. And I'm trying to get the threads for them. I'm thinking of doing DMC conversion. So if you're interested in doing because she doesn't provide DMC conversion. If you're interested, let me know and I'll do one and I'll get the DMC in my shop as well. But this is the Brick House Sampler, which is beautiful with those birds and that house and those tiny little letters. Now, when she stitched this, she stitched it 1/1 on 28 count mushroom Lugana, which is fine. If you need that, I've got it in my shop, but I can't do that. That will drive me insane. So I went into my stash and I found this piece of linen. It's almost as bad. It's 46 count beach walk from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I'm going to stitch it on that. I think that's a perfect match because it's got some blues in it, that pinkish orangey color, but then a little touch of blue and green, which you get in this. So I think that's going to be really pretty. So that, I'm going to start that January 1st, and I'm going to do, I wrote it down. It's going to be, the hashtag on Instagram is going to be Jan Brick House Sampler Sal. So Jan for January. Jan Brick House Sampler Sal. And I'll put that here. So if you want to join me, we'll start January 1st, and we'll see if we can get it done in the month of January. And then my second selection for the year for February. February is my birthday month. And Candy Stitches and I are birthday twins. We have the same birthday. Happy birthday early. And so when I think of February, I always think of purples because it's the amethyst is the birthstone and the violet is the flower. And I love purple. So when I was looking at different things, this is the one that I want to start so badly. So I'm going to start this. And when this first came out at market, I got a few of them at market and then they sold and I didn't save one. And so I had to go and purchase one from my local needlework shop in Decatur, Alabama. Hey, Marlene. But I have them in my shop now. I was just impatient and I just love it. So I'm going to stitch this one, Indigo Lane from With Thy Needle and Thread or Brenda Gervais. And again, I'm going to change the fabric. I love to use different colors that are in the color palette. And so I'm going to use, this is Forest Haven from Silk Weaver. I think it's going to be gorgeous. That will start February 1st. And I'll talk more about that hashtag when we get closer to that time. So that's my plans for 2019. And to do a different Brenda Gervais each month. One other plan that I have, that I am going to start this sometime in the next 2 weeks. I want to start it during the Christmas holidays. Is a rug, using rug hooking. So I purchased this on eBay. And I think it's so cute. Look at that calico. She's fat like our calico. But I've got the wools. I just need to cut the wools. And I told Kathleen I'm going to start it. She said, you said you were going to start one last year. I'm like, I'm going to start it. So I've got it all kitted up. So maybe this next week I'll get it out and put some few loops in there. So those are my plans for the next 3 weeks, I guess. What I'm going to do now is do a shop update. So if you're not interested in my Etsy shop, you can stop watching now, or if you are, you can continue to watch. So I'm going to talk about some of my You got specials that I'm doing, as well as some of the new products that I have in my shop. So I'm going to pause and get all that together. Okay, so last thing I want to talk about is the shop update. My shop is Jen's Stitchy Niche on Etsy. I'll put a link below, and then I'll put the link here as well. It's, you know, I have all kinds of different materials. I have linens. I have one of the new linen lines that I'm carrying is Under the Sea Fabrics, Leslie's linen, and it's beautiful. I have some left. I got an order in right after my last video, and then that stuff flew out. So, but it's beautiful. That beach walk that I showed for the brick house sampler, that's one of her linens that I have in my shop as well. You know, I have the typical 3 over dyes, the Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Color Works. So just if you need anything, let me know. One of the things that I like to do with my shop is to run a couple of specials. Right now I'm running free shipping for U.S. domestic mail for orders of $25 or more. So that's nice. I may continue that through 2019, but right now it's supposed to end at the end of the year. And you don't need a code. Once you do your order, Etsy automatically subtracts off the shipping. The other thing I like to do is I like to send a little gift with each order. My sister calls it a little happy. And I've done things like free charts and from different designers and charts. So right now the ones I'm giving away are the Queen of Hearts by Shakespeare's Peddler and Have a Nice Day from Raise the Roof. So it's random. You'll get one or the other. And you'll know it's the free chart because I'll have this little sticker on there for you. Because I've had some people that have emailed me and said, oh, you included an extra chart. I need to send that back. And I'm like, nope, that's a gift. So when I run out of these, I'll switch to something else. But you get a free chart, and it's a nice size chart on those. Now, the other thing I want to do is show you some of these things that I've got on clearance. And I'm going to show you probably about 14 different charts that I have on clearance. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the price on those as well. And if you're interested, you know, you could put together several of these and get free shipping because you just need to reach that $25 mark. So here are a few, 14 of the ones that I have on clearance. And this isn't all of them, but right now I've got a part of Andale. These will all be Shakespeare's Peddler or Raise the Roof. This is from the materials that I bought from Teresa a couple of years ago. This one is $10. So I've got that clearance. Elizabeth Mary Gandy. This one's $8. French Cathedral is $8 as well. Isn't that pretty? When I first started looking at this one, I was listening to Outlander online on Audible, and it's Fraser. It's an E. I think his mother was Elizabeth Fraser. I'm like, oh, maybe that could be Jamie's mom because she was in France. Imagination. Here's a Raise the Roof hang 10. It's one of the clotheslines, and this is a larger one. What's the stitch count on this? 350 by 184, and this is $4. 2 Angry Birds. It's 2 birds that are mad at each other because one woke up and didn't tell the other one it was awake. $2. Ann Harrison. Got this one marked for $8. Antique Spring Sampler. Ann Hobbs. This is $5. Another Raise the Roof, Pushing Up Daisies, one of their most controversial ones. This is $1.50. As is Gnome Sweet Gnome, a little sampler with garden thing, $1.50. Let There Be Peace, that one's $2. Love the Spring, $2. Tread Lightly, $2. I think Bindi Stitchy is working on that one. Vlad's Vosh, another clothesline, $5. Sweetheart Tree, getting ready for Valentine's in February. That's $3. Modern spot motif is $1.50. And Getting Old Sucks. That's so Teresa. Her sense of humor, and that's $1.50. So those are available in my shop. You can search for clearance and see all kinds of different things that I have in there. Now, in addition to that, I was going to show you some of the things that I'm adding to my stock, just because I'm thinking of, you know, new year, new starts. We all love a reason to start a new project. And I love monthly series. So a couple of monthly series that I'm thinking people might want to be interested in is the Old Prairie School Group, January. So I have this one in my shop. And I'm thinking of doing the small ones. I don't know. And then, of course, the A Year in Chalk. Those are still available. That's January. I also ordered these in. So these are the Mirabilia Fairies. So this is Miss New Year's, and it comes with everything you need to do it. So it's a kit. It's like $50. That's not a bad deal. And also went ahead and got the Valentine's one too. So those are available in my shop. And if they sell out, I will have more. I can order more. And then some of the newer things, I've got a bunch of new stuff, but this is stuff I just thought needed to be shown again. They've been shown. But I've got all the new Plum Street, but this is my favorite, I think, of the entire year because of those little birds. That is beautiful. So that's Betsy's Autumn. And this is Tra-La-La, but I just think these are cute. So that's, I don't know what it says. And then the Letters from Mom series, I've got the next three. We've got March, Kindness Speaks, April, Live Peaceably with the Little Sheep. And it comes with the, what is that? Cottage Garden Threads. And May, Love Gains. All right, and then I just dropped one, which I want to show you. The Just Another Button Company has the mini pin or pin mini sets, which are, they do a monthly series of these as well. This is the December set. These are so cute. So you get the 3 pins and you get a card where you can go online and download the instructions for making the little pin cushion. And the pin cushion for this month is a Christmas present. So really cute. Okay, so I think that is all of the shop update information. Thank you everyone for listening to my rather rambly video again. I hope you have a great holiday season. Happy New Year. Get lots of stitching in. My plan is to do another video on Friday of this week, but we'll see if that works out. Plans. But if I don't see you before the end of the year, Happy New Year. And I will check back in soon, and we'll start that brick house sampler on January 1st. Thank you.